Hi, welcome to today's series. We are going to be needing a set of dumbbells. So I have little 1 kilograms. Of course, you're more than welcome to use heavier than that, but don't be surprised because sometimes a lighter weight is a little bit better on the joints for you, so you can do more repetitions. So what we're going to start with is being on all fours. So just having the weights on either side of you. We're not going to use them just yet. We're just going to find our base position of our body. So feeling your hands onto the ground underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Let's go for a really wide spread of your hands. So the bigger the spread, the more you'll start to feel sort of the knuckles coming up onto the palm side or the top of the palm side. And then making your shoulders just gently close in towards the spine as your chest lowers between the arms. And then pushing your chest away so that you feel very in contact with the ribs behind you and the shoulder blades. So we'll just do that again, dropping down between the shoulders, between the arms, and then pushing up and away. So the shoulder blades are the movers here as our limbs are staying really nice and steady, and then coming back up. And then we're going to find just a comfortable position where you're neither dropped nor overly pushed away. So maintaining this position and shape, let's just do a little bit of movement from our hips. So we're going to drop our right hip down towards the right side, and then bringing it through the center. And as I drop, I'm kind of thinking of I'm sliding it out to one side and then the other. And that movement is harder than you think. So if you could imagine somebody touching the side of your hip as you push out into their hand, as though you were trying to move their hand away from your body one way and then the other. So it's more of a shift of weight to the left and a shift of weight towards the right. And then once you're equal to the two sides, bringing it all the way back in. From here, you're going to set your bottom towards your feet, but try not to tuck your tail under. So keep the length through and then travel forward and go beyond your wrists. And then again, sitting back and coming forward. Get the feeling like you're ready to pounce. So we pull back and we push forward. So this is a little bit more dynamic. We want to get those joints moving through the knees, the hips, through the wrists, and through the shoulders. One more time as we push backward and then coming forward. So what we're going to do is grab a hold of our weights now, and you can go into a knuckled position like this. So you're balancing knuckles onto the floor and holding onto the weight. We're going to send our right arm through and then twisting towards the left. And then bringing yourself back up and replace the arm. And then go ahead to the opposite side. So gentle twisting into the upper body. One more time each side, just to get a little bit of warm up in this area. We're about to use our weights and keep our body position the same in terms of the all fours position. So from here, we're going to start with our left arm. So the left elbow is going to be pulling up towards the side of the body and then dropping down. And again, pull and lower. So we're going to go for a round of 5s of everything today. And this is 4. And then one more time, 5. Hold the weight down. Extend your right leg away from you. Keep your toes on the ground. And then from here, we're going to pull that left elbow up again. 1 and 2, staying strong through the right side of your arm. 3, and strong through the left side. 4 of your hip. And 5. Now from there, keep the arms down. Let's raise the right leg, lift and lower. So when you're lifting the leg, you don't want to feel like you're squeezing your lower back, but you're really working from the effectiveness of your hip joint. This is number 5. And then from here, we're going to combine our 2 moves together. So elbow lifts, leg lifts, and down. And 2, and 3, 2 more to go, 4, quite boring when you just count, and 5, and then resting that down, pulling that knee in. We repeat on the right side now, so pulling the elbow up to the side of the body and bringing it down. So balancing on the knuckles is a different way of strengthening through your wrists, because we have these, mobility movements that we can do in our hands, but if we don't actually apply them, well, then we sort of lose the effectiveness. Slide your left leg out, toes are just touching the ground, and then again, pulling the right elbow up and down. So it's great to sort of try and change your weight and bearing positions through your hand, obviously still being safe. And then last one, and then lower that arm down. Keep the two hands on the ground, and then we're raising the back leg, lift and lower. So remember the form of your upper body, making sure you haven't collapsed between the shoulders like we did in the beginning of our move. 4, I think, and 5. And then we add the 2 at the same time, elbow and leg come up and down. Notice if the side is easier or more challenging. I felt a little bit more challenging on my first repetition on the side. And then one more time, 5. Great. From here, we're going to keep our knees bent, keep our feet flat on the floor. We're going to push ourselves up and bring your hands towards your shoulders. From here, we're going to stretch the arms right up towards the ceiling, bend the arms, and then lower your hands back down, and your weight is forward in your quadruped. So we make that a little bit more dynamic. We sit back and we push up, we draw down, and we return. And again, this is number 2. And 3, so getting again those hip joints moving for us and knee joints moving. So if you need to add anything like kneeling pads, of course you're going to go ahead and do that. But this is still very good for the function of our hip joints. And then one more time, we're going to come up and hold the arms here. We're going to send your right arm forward. Your left arm is going to open out behind you. Look towards your left hand, and then bring both arms to the top. And then spin and spiral facing the opposite way and coming up. And again, the twisting is going to happen. There will be some residual movement through to your pelvis, but you don't want to whip your pelvis around. You still want to feel as though your hips were facing towards the front as your upper body is twisting towards the sides. And again, twist. We've got one more time to each side. Really controlling the weight through space is the challenge of this exercise. And then last one as we twist and bringing it all the way back up. Lowering your arms down. I'm going to turn to face you this way. Remember, you can do this kneeling, you can do this sitting if you needed to. So what we're going to do is send the arms out towards the side, holding them here. We're going to draw circles forward. And 2, 3, 4, 5, and then circle the opposite way. 2, 3, 4, 5. From there, flip the palms, do a bend in and out. 2s and 3s. We've got a little set coming up. 4 and 5. And then lowering your arms all the way back down. We're going to begin with the elbows now bent and the knuckles facing forward. And here we go for 5. Open and close. So with this movement, it's very important you don't try and pull the shoulders back and the chest forward. This is a spiraling of your arm inside of the shoulder joint. Hold here and then keep that right angle as you bring your elbows up to the height of your shoulders and then lowering the elbows back down again. And again, raising the elbows to the side, knuckles facing to the front and returning. 3 more to go. If you do this well, you'll start to feel work at the top side of your arm where your deltoid is. If you do this not so well, you're going to start to feel your neck potentially. So we want to make sure that that's not what's going on for you. One more time here, hold, and you're going to punch alternating arms out and in. So they're going to move past each other through space. And while we have the illusion that our body is staying still, you might begin to notice there's a little bit of twisting action happening while you do your punching, and then bringing them both back down and resting from there. All right, let's turn on to a side position now. So taking both of the weights into one hand if you have the 1 kilo. If you have heavier than that, obviously just use one of those weights. From here, we're going to lie onto the side to do a little book opening exercise. So from here, we're going to hover the arm just off the floor, start to rotate yourself backward, looking towards the weight, and then roll yourself forward again. Now, if that weight is too strong, it's going to want to pull you off the ground. So can you feel like your knees are staying down on the mat as the arm is traveling back behind you? As I said, if it is too strong, drop one of the weights or don't even use the weight. You can still do the movement very well without the weight. So what does the weight do? Well, it gives you extra strength. It makes you have to use more control through your shoulder joint. And bringing it back one more time like this to go. Out and rolling backward and then coming all the way through. From here, we're going to take the arm up towards the ceiling, hold it there, and then we're going to bend and straighten at our elbow again. So keeping the upper arm as steady as you can in space as you just bend at the elbow and reach the knuckles back high towards the ceiling. One more time here, and then we'll pause and we'll bring the arm down. We're going to turn around to face the other way. So Bear doesn't know that yet, but we're going to flip over there. And then setting yourself up again. Remember, your setup positions are crucial. So we want to feel like the back of the head and shoulders are in line with the back of the pelvis. Send the arm out. We raise the arm up, and we're going to rotate to look back towards your arm and then coming forward. So because the weight is adding to the heaviness of your arm, you want to make sure that you don't collapse that arm and push the shoulder forward in the socket. So you may not go as far as we normally go when we don't have a weight. That's okay. We're doing a lot of other sort of moves here that are benefiting us. So 2 more to go in this range. So just noticing the difference when you add something like resistance, how that changes the movement you've been doing for so many times already. Out. And then in. All right, we're sending the arm straight up towards the ceiling, holding it there, and then we're bending and straightening through the upper arm. And only 3 more. Still feeling very controlled in your movement. And last one, and reaching it all the way to the top. Very nice. From here, we're going to come into a lying down position. We're going to send our 2 arms all the way over behind us into a nice long line. Remember, have them just off the floor. If we collapse the arms down, then we don't have any control in the shoulder joint and we've lost our good tensioning. So just hovering the arms up into the air, and then is nice and long. We're going to raise our hips into the air, and as you do, you're going to pull those arms down towards the floor and return the pelvis to the mat and send the arms over. So in both of my directions at the moment, I'm going to keep my arms off the ground. So I still want to get as low to the ground as possible on both directions, but maintaining that tensioning in my muscular and fascial body as I move the arms through space. You've got 2 more of these bridges. And overhead. And then the last time, bringing the pelvis all the way up. Hold the arms down. You can rest them on the floor now. And we're going to do that shift left to right that we practiced on all 4s. So this one might feel a little easier as you slide your pelvis to the left and to the right. So still keeping the hips up, keeping the knees forward, but moving the pelvis to the left and the right. 1 more time each side, and then back down we go, and then roll the body down, keeping the arms just at your side for now. All right, from there we're just going to move those weights out of the way and just send your arms open about 45 degrees. So we're going to do a little twisted stretch, so taking your left knee over your right. If this is all you can manage, it's quite fine. You can keep that bind. Otherwise, try and hook your left foot behind your right calf. And from there, we're going to pull gently, bringing the left knee down towards the right. So we're going to turn our head away from our knees, looking into the left side, and then bring everything back to center. We'll do that again. So legs go off to the right, head looks off to the left, and back to center. And we'll do that 1 more time, just getting a gentle twisting through the spine from the top of the head all the way down to the tail, and then coming back through the center. Unhook your foot from behind your calf if you had it there, but keep the legs as they are. Bring the knees up towards you. So you're going to start by just holding maybe onto the front of your knee, and if that's enough, stay. Otherwise, we're going to slide our hands down to find our ankles. So your aim is to try and get either your legs to pull in closer like that, or can you raise the legs upwards so that your shins are becoming more horizontal and then pulling the legs in. So really different kind of stretch from your classic figure 4 stretch, but we are still getting the glutes involved. Feel the back of the neck nice and soft and lengthened, and then releasing that. And we're going to do everything on the other side. So we cross our right leg over the left, If you can, tuck your toe around the back of your ankle, and then we're going to send the knees to the left and look to the right. And then bringing it back up again. There. And then again, coming over and turning the head to the side and returning back to center. We have one more time just like that. So twist to look and then coming up towards the start. So unhook the foot from the back of the ankle, but pull the knees in. So start again, maybe just holding over the tops of the knees is plenty sufficient. Otherwise, give it a go, trying to find the ankles. Pulling in first might be the second stage that you're able to get to. And then the third and final would be to pull those legs up and then draw in. So your shins are trying to get as sort of in a straight line as possible. Oh, and then one side might feel very different to the other. And then we're going to relax out of that. Bring yourself up into a sitting position as we come to say goodbye for our time today. I hope you enjoyed it. Nice quick session, and let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Bye.